But I'm going to read to you what I wrote. And it's, some people thought it was harsh, or one or two people thought it was harsh, but just listen to the simplicity of it, okay? Quote, how can we do better when hundreds of millions of people believe someone is going to fly out of the sky to save them when this has never ever happened before? How? 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 This is the ultimate form of cognitive dissonance. All these idiotic belief systems y'all have. The Holy Spirit, Jesus, God, Trinity, the left, the right, Crips, Bloods, racism, feminism, etc. Get rid of all this dumb shit so you can make room in your head to start fucking thinking. There's only one rule. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Everything else falls under this very simple phrase. Stop copping out from cowardice and start learning the traits of these despicably toxic personalities running around both far and wide. Stop walking around talking about how woke you are because you learned about your religion when there are 99 other pertinent areas you are still asleep in. You don't even realize how fucking dumb you sound. If you don't figure this out, end quote. Yeah, if you don't figure this out, it's not going to end well for you. For me, the days of coddling in my speech and what I'm trying to get across, they're over. The whole traditional way of doing things is coming to an end. No matter what the tradition is, outside of very few of them, it's coming to an end. Employment, the assets you hold, everything is coming to an end. That's why Jehovah's Witnesses, your belief system, your kingdom hall, your governing body, your Christians, your Bible, all that is under constant scrutiny now. It's not going away. And the reason why it's not going away is because it's time for your traditional beliefs to go away. You know how you keep experiencing the same thing over and over? It's because it's time to deal with it. That's what this is. It's time for it to go. And, the fear is causing you to use is a barrier for your eyes. Until you figure out how you're going to accept it, until you make a move with the information being given to you, it's going to keep showing up. People going to keep crashing your carts while you're out on the corner, if y'all still do that. They still going to come to your Sunday meeting and raise their hand and ask about the child sex abuse cases. This is not going to stop because it's over. It's done. It's dead. If you believe in God, when he was done with something, it's time for it to go. If you believe in the Bible, those examples are in the Bible too. It's time for it to go. And then the other side of this, right? The other side of this belief system, so we have the barrier for your eyes. The fear creates the barrier for your eyes, meaning the fear will not allow you to see any other information outside of your belief system that the enemy gave you. The next thing you have is, like you said earlier, your desire. Your desire to find the truth disappears under your belief system. Now think about how crazy that sounds. Keep saying that to yourself. Your desire to know the truth to help nobody else but you. This is for you, okay? That you have decided, not decided, but that belief system has wiped away your desire to know something. That is another barrier that we have when talking to these people, these believers. They don't even want to know. You don't know how many times I personally have said, hey, take a look at this while you over here talking and you don't know what you're talking about. Take a look at this because you can't prove to me what you're saying. I am proving to you what I am saying with this article, with this video, with this whatever. I don't want to see that and blah, 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 blah. It just happened probably just a week ago. Just a week ago. I was saying, hey, take a look at this. And boom, don't want to look at it, don't want to see it. But sent me back, 3 different bogus articles that I know aren't true. But I read them. They wouldn't read what I'm saying. They wouldn't read because it was dismantling their belief system. So this person's putting up, her Wonder Woman wrist bracelets, trying to block my shots. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why I used that. I don't know why that came up, but it did. Trying not to see what I'm saying. And if you're like me, you look at people's faces when they're doing stuff. And I wish you could have seen the anxiety and the fear. And it's just not something I understand. Like, I don't understand if we go outside and you say, there are cracks in the cement all the way down the street and I see those cracks in the cement all the way down the street, and okay, I get it. It's new information. I thought this block was solid and the pavement was smooth, but there are cracks. Okay, I have to adjust. That has never been an issue for me. So maybe I got lucky. I don't know. But I can't sit on the side of somebody and figure out what is it that makes them freak out like that. You know, I mean, I get it, right? It's there's a safety in the belief system, right? It's a safety of not knowing and a safety of not having to do much. But ultimately, by doing that, you're still suppressing fear. You're still suppressing your true person by doing that, by sitting in that. But you're suppressing. That's why you're unhappy. Jehovah's Witnesses, people with other belief systems, 35 years old, 40 years old, still haven't figured out that both of these two national operating systems, if I can say it like that, are, the two wings on the same bird. You got gray hair and you still don't want to accept this. That's amazing to me. And I watch people get caught up in all this stuff and, some of the arguments that they want to have. And it's like, what are you thinking about? But they're not. We can't ask them this question, what are you thinking about? Because they're not. Taking away their BS, their belief systems, or their bullshit hurts. As much as I hate the Jehovah's Witness organization, realizing that, and I never bought into it, but it was crammed into me, but realizing as an adult, nobody's going to fly out the sky and save me. It's not going to be no Armageddon. Jehovah's not going to kill everybody. That's all nonsense. That makes you mad. I get it. But it isn't sustainable any longer. Now, I told you earlier, one of the reasons you're given a control system is to control you, of course, but also to make money off of you. What is the Christian, we're not just going to single out the Jehovah's Witnesses, what is the Christian religion doing as a whole in terms of, taking money from you? You're willingly giving them the money. And these people are rolling out on jets and Rolls-Royce Phantoms and Rolex watches. Even the governing body got a Rolex on his arm. Got the Rolly. You hear me? But when you need something, where are they? Do you remember when the flooding happened in Houston a couple of years ago, last year? I don't remember when it was. And they asked Pastor Joel Osteen, can we use your church? He turned everybody away. You hear what I just said to you? Took all your money. And then when y'all needed somewhere to be, at least initially, it's like, nah, y'all can't stay here. It's good for y'all to come in here and give me your money, but you can't sleep here. Making money off of you. And you still went back on Sunday, too. As soon as it was time for the church to open up, you still went back. That's because of your belief system. Controls your actions. And they know this. And I know good and well, y'all saw that. You, those of you who attended that church and who was watching worldwide, Pastor Osteen turned these people away. And I know in your head, you're like, that's not cool. But you override it. You what? You suppressed it. You suppressed it like you've been doing since you've been in your church, in your religion, whatever it is. We all know the Jehovah's Witness organization don't help nobody. Not the congregation, not nobody. They don't give out no food. They don't do nothing. So when you start thinking about the billions of dollars they have, they don't pay a check to anybody on the lower levels. They don't hand out food. They don't do back to school programs. Nobody has ever seen them do this in 150 years. So it makes getting to that $1 billion status real easy. Point I'm making is they made all that money off of you. Jehovah's Witnesses, you deed them their houses instead of your children when you pass away. They got all that money because of the belief system, the BS. They can control you. They know what you're going to do with just suggestive vocabulary. They suggest to you on Sunday, Jesus was a giving man, and while they passing the collection plate around. You heard me? This is why belief systems are your enemy. They make you do stuff that are not for your benefit, that are against your person, and it helps the perpetrators. And then the perpetrators laugh at you, literally all the way to the bank. B of A, Wells Fargo, I don't know where they go. But they take your money to the bank. And meanwhile, you're going to go home and hope you still have some beans and rice left. Talking about, well, I tithe my 10%. I know the Lord gonna bless me. You better take care of yourself first. Nobody, and I mean nobody, is coming out of the sky to save you. Not to save you. And the really bad part about it on any level, is that people with belief systems, at some point, they are going to turn on you. You hear me? Jehovah's Witnesses, we already know the deal with them. If you don't believe what they believe, bye-bye. If you don't believe in this Republican candidate or this Democratic candidate like I do, it's going to be a hell of a conversation, if there's one at all. That's why people, can't talk about it at work, because they get so uptight about people who are laughing at you and the idiocy of the belief. I'm not going to play with y'all. It's idiotic, moronic. If you feel you don't like what I'm saying, just hit the stop button, man. I'm not looking for you. They are laughing at you. And if you're one of those people who are saying, well, who's they? You are, and I'm going to borrow this quote from Tupac. All you people out there saying, hey, you are like Judas was to Jesus. You only here to cause confusion. Woo, that's good. You only here to cause confusion, talking about who's they. Don't pay your taxes and you'll figure out who they is. Okay? Don't play no games. The people need to hear something. They need to catch up. So if you're one of those they people, you also hit the stop button and get off my podcast. But yeah, people will turn on you. And it's amazing to me. Why can't we sit down and just have dialogue, right? One day I was talking to this guy about pretty much all the stuff that we're talking about today in a 30-minute conversation. And at the end of the conversation, I said, you know what, man? I appreciate being able to just talk to you and have this dialogue and it just be a discussion. He said, you know what, man? I was thinking that, but I didn't know how to say it. So you know what I mean? And so why can't you guys do that who have all these belief systems? Why can't you do that? Nobody's forcing anything on you. Former witnesses don't go knocking on your door. We don't come to your page on Instagram. You come to ours. You come to our door. You come to our page and want to ram your imagination, your imaginative belief system down our throats. And we're saying, we'll hear you, but hear us. And you won't do it. It becomes the barrier for your eyes. The desire to find the truth disappears. And that's what it is. Whole families are broken up over these belief systems. Friendships over political beliefs. Dudes been knowing each other 30 years. What? You voted for who? Do you know? Man, come on. Y'all haven't figured this out yet? Let me warn you about something else in terms of belief systems. Most of the time when we talk about it, we talk about one person or one group having one belief system. Well, let me tell you something. There are people out here walking around with multiple belief systems, 2 or more. I had never thought about that till I sat down and had a conversation, and I won't say because I know they're probably listening, but I couldn't believe when it dawned on me. I was like, oh, snap. There are 2 belief systems going on in there, and this has been sitting on my head. I'm trying to figure that out. How are you doing that? How are you doing that? 2 belief systems. One is hard enough to do the mental gymnastics around. But can you imagine having 2 equally toxic belief systems? So if you think talking to one person with one belief system is tough, can you imagine talking to a person with multiple? I'm trying to tell you, it's difficult. It's absolutely difficult. In any case, let's move on. So what is all the point of all this, James? Why you sounding so high and mighty like you got it all together? Well, first of all, I don't have it all together. And let me tell you a story. There was a dude who I used to play basketball with. And the only reason I'm going to tell you this is because it's pertinent. We used to play basketball 2-3 times a week, started learning each other, and we were having a great time. We were in basketball leagues, and in this league, we had the habit of either before or after the game, we'd all go to lunch. And this particular day, it was only he and I after the game. So